No, fuck.
That was pretty good. Yeah, that was fun.
You made me fucking record. God. No, I liked.
Hey, yo, welcome to the BLACKTOOth Podcast, starring Joey Scrocca and Jake Penis.
Jake Penis. Joseph Cockstra.
Oof.
Yeah, there we go. All right, give me one of those. That's even getting fucking better. Dude, you said that you wanted themes, and the one you brought up was conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Did you have a good conspiracy to bring to the podcast, Jacob?
Well, I have one that I'm interested in, but that I don't know very much about, and it's
Girls
the Vegas
with penis.
No, I know a lot about that,
Girls
but
that have wieners and how they taste.
I'm very privy to that information, but no, it's the Vegas shooter one. I guess the anniversary of that was this past week, and I was seeing a lot of memes or whatever on the internet. A lot of like people posting about it. I couldn't think of the right terminology.
Stephen Paddock, the shooter. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. What was anything that you
just the whole thing about how he brought 300 pounds of ammunition up to the 30th floor, there was a whole thing. I don't remember the stat lines, but it was like, and removed an 80-pound hurricane window by himself, and then like the whole thing was just apparently bullshit. That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold Penis.
Stone Cold sucked it. No, that's a very interesting one. I have myself been reading up on a lot of that. All right, so from the get-go, the narrative is that this dude shot up a country music festival with seemingly no motive. Like, I mean, that seems to be the accepted
mental illness.
Mental illness. So the fact that he had that many guns in the room is suspicious. But there's a lot of things about not only the guns, but the way that the events were going down, like on the timeline, like because there's a lot of moving simultaneous parts with it. Some of which dealt directly like the relationship that Paddock had to, I guess, like the FBI or whatever. But also there's a bigger kind of overarching story that is just conveniently omitted, like to make it seem like kind of more of a gun issue and not as much of a like, hey, the CIA are kind of assholes. Do you know anything about the Mandalay Bay, like the top couple of floors of the Mandalay Bay? What's up there?
No. I mean, obviously you hear all the stuff about like the false flags and things that the CIA does. Yeah. I don't know anything about the Mandalay itself.
So the Mandalay Bay Hotel is the Mandalay Bay Hotel, except the top 4 floors are 4 Seasons, and it operates as its own entity. It's not related to Mandalay Bay. All it is just a hotel that is owned and operated on the same premises, but you need
they just bought it like that unit or whatever. They own it. They're not renting it. They're not affiliated.
Correct. So the top 4 floors, the 4 Seasons, and I'm not sure if they own it outright or if they're like just major investors, but they have their fingers in the pie in a very heavy way. It is the Prince of Saudi Arabia.
That's sus.
So not only does so there's this whole thing going on in Saudi Arabia where nobody really wants to relinquish power. Because they are still a monarchy. There's a chain of command, like a hierarchy of like, there's the crown, there's the king, de facto of Saudi Arabia. And then underneath there's a array of people that will be next in line. So there's like direct bloodlines and then like, relatives and then other political figures that all could in theory assume the crown once the king is either, grown old and died or assassinated or something. And it's the Middle East. Like it's very, not barbaric, but like, it is kind of power shifts at a kind of its own pace, very rapidly over there. So there's a high chance of you being like the crown of Saudi Arabia and getting assassinated, or if you're even in line for it, somebody beneath you or laterally to you could want the same position and knock you off. So what we have here is one of the guys that was going to be the next crown if the current king is knocked off just happened to be at the Tropicana, like kind of down the way. And what they think happened was there was a ploy to lure him and some other associates that are peripherally related to his like political stature in Saudi Arabia to the Mandalay Bay to get them up to the 4 Seasons, where there would be an assassination attempt on his life. The Paddock thing is that he had CIA assets that were either going to thwart or supply the guns. That's where it's unclear if he was either going to like sell them the guns for this assassination to go down, or the CIA had prior knowledge of the assassination attempt and they were going to try and thwart it by this dude bringing up a bunch of, private sector rifles with bump stocks and shit, enough firepower to, in theory, quell any chance at like an assassination attempt, but without like it could just look like a deal gone wrong. Mm-hmm. So that part went down kind of like on its own thing. But what they're saying is because the FBI and the CIA already got to this dude at the Tropicana. There's this video of him walking through the casino floor where everybody's holding their hands up and there's a SWAT team escorting this Arab dude in like flip-flops and like a t-shirt out. That's
they were warning him?
No, they got word that this shooting is going on, and because he's like a VIP, like a very high profile guy, and someone that's kind of not supposed to be in the country on the terms that he is in the current moment. Like he's just there for R&R. He's not there for like diplomatic reasons or anything. He's just there to go to Vegas and gamble. He isn't really supposed and like that also has political context over in Saudi Arabia. Like if they knew that, he might be like getting hookers or like gambling or something that's dishonorable in the Muslim sense. It's kind of
drinking. Can't they like not drink?
Yeah, they're not allowed to drink.
He's probably doing blow and fucking
exactly
get his butthole licked and
dude,
stuff.
Like so, like for all of those reasons, they kind of kept it out of the news. But like 4chan, of course, the deep divers pulled up the security footage and all the body cam footage of that police escort.
How the fuck do they get this shit, dude? Shout out to 4chan.
Yeah, fucking 4chan really does. Like they were the ones that like kind of supplied this theory, and it's like where all of like the illogical moments kind of occur. So yeah, so the FBI is escorting this dude, and that's when the police had already gone up to Paddock's room in the Mandalay Bay thing. So what their theory is, not only were you said the thing about the hurricane glass. So he used 223. Like that's that's the round that most commonly is used with ARs. Mm-hmm. So they're saying that this dude was just unprovoked, thought he was going to start shooting through these windows at a country music festival, and there's
apparently it's bulletproof glass. That's where
it's not bulletproof, but it's very hard to break. It's meant so that you can't like smash a window like with a chair or something inside. You literally would have to.
They just blew your mortgage.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to dive out the fucking window.
Yeah, they make it so that it's very hard to do. You literally, I think it's like made so that you have to shoot through it. So what I think happened was these people that were buying the guns from Paddock, or Paddock had already sold and supplied the guns because they saw him alive in the room, and he had all these security cameras set up.
I never thought about that it could have been a weapons deal aspect. Like I always just thought it was a crazy shooter brought a bunch of guns to kill people.
Yeah, so he had all of these extended magazines, which are like 100-round magazines, and bump stocks.
Nanner clips. Joe's favorite terminology.
Yeah, fucking banana clips. Yeah, you got that nana for the chopper? Fuck, I hate North Carolina gun shows. Yo, what's this chopper do? Yo, is this like 5.6? Like, shut the fuck up. Yo, you need a background check to...
Can I wet the whole set with this motherfucker?
Yo, spray my dude. Yo,
How do I get the sideways sight on this bitch?
Yo, do you know what that's called when you grab your crotch and then shoot like that? You know what that's
Cheddar
called?
Bob?
No, it's called the Odelay.
What's that?
You grab your crotch like that and then you point the gun sideways like
Why
a
is
Mexican.
it called the Odelay?
The Odelay because it's like what's up in like Chicano Spanish. You're like Odelay, motherfucker. And
they shoot like that. I thought it was predominantly the African Americans.
Nah, it's it's just like a hood, just like
reputation,
just like a hood rat thing. Hold your gun sideways.
SA's doing it too.
Believe it or not, it's actually not a bad idea to hold instead of holding it and aiming down slightly like that. You kind of cock it to a 45 degree and use that sharp corner because you have a more clear trajectory of where the bullet's gonna go.
Oh
so
shit!
If you ever notice, the cops kind of cock it to the side like that. He's like the iron sights. You don't really account for like certain depth. You're just trying to line the things up, but like in a like a millisecond decision situation, they do kind of pull it out. You're seeing right down Broadway.
Yeah, and I have seen it kind of angled like that. But then my grandpa was a cop, and like their textbook for him is straight up and down.
They used to use like cylinder guns at the academy, like back then. Like it's all, I think they start using
What's a cylinder gun?
like a revolver,
Okay.
like a
The 38s or whatever the cops
yeah,
used to use.
38 snub nose special Colt 45s too were pretty popular.
Colt 45, two zigzags.
Oh, yeah. So just to finish that thought about the paddock thing too. So yeah, without no motive or nothing, he's shooting out these windows. Okay, so here's a couple of things that don't add up.
He didn't just shoot out windows though.
No, he shot a bunch.
like 50 people. How many people died?
It was like
remember.
in the 45 to 55, somewhere in the ballpark of that. It was like it was a slaughter. He beat.
Can you imagine going to like Canafest in AC or whatever the fucking events were this summer, and some dude just punches out a window at Bally's and starts. you just bullets are raining down from the sky. Like that's something that could happen. Like we do go to live events regularly, like concerts and stand-up shows, and that's scary because it's. Yeah, I don't even think I'm so Eddie Bravo'd out that like I think it's always a false flag. Like I think it's always a CIA plant. Like I'm not worried about like some crazy fuck just shooting me. Like I'm worried about being in the wrong place at the wrong time during some like government shit and just getting fucking whacked.
Seeing something you're not supposed to.
No, not like that. Like you just happen to be at this event where like you're like I'm gonna run in the Boston Marathon, and then the government's like we're gonna blow this up. And you just happen to be there.
That I don't think. I think those Zarniev brothers were actually like. I think they were just like had spent way too much time on the fucking internet.
I'm retarded, so like I automatically think like the government did it.
There's like a lot of weird shit, but I think there's enough compelling evidence to prove that these dudes were just two dipshits that like took 4chan seriously, or Reddit. I think was what they were using. But anyway,
I was gonna say.
But yo, no, like this part's gonna fucking boggle your mind though. So like, if that shit wasn't weird enough about that, so this guy was like Stephen Paddock was seen alive in the hallways going into and out of his room. He used a service elevator to bring all the stuff up. So like, we can put the guns and Paddock in the room. Now,
how did it end? He takes his own life,
allegedly. That's what the narrative is that he shot himself because he was getting overwhelmed. But a man that shot himself in the face. And just keeled over and died directly in front of a doorway that was shot through over 300 times, does not have a single fatal body wound or anything on him. It's literally he succumbed to the gunshot wound. They put 300 rounds through the dude's door. They chopped his door clean in half. And go figure, he fell in a way that was right in front of the door that they were shooting through. Like they didn't stop. They clearly didn't stop till after he was done. Like it was like that was weird. The motive is weird. But here's the thing about the fucking. Have you heard about the fire rate? Have you heard anything about that?
That was one of the bullet points on the image I saw where it was like it was constant fire rate from like multiple different angles apparently.
Correct. But did you hear anything about the percussion?
Like MG42s. Like it did not sound like
not MG42s
or whatever the
MG42s are the
World War II.
Yeah, it's like the Nazi machine gun.
It was the other
M246 is what it's called. It's
playing too much Call of Duty, babe.
It's a SAW, is what a squad automatic weapon. So they're bump stocks,
PPSH.
Bump stocks, as well as extended magazines. Extended magazines have a host of problems, specifically those. Drum magazines are the most widely accepted, but even those still have problems with loading. You don't have enough spring tension to get a lot of rounds, especially when you have that much weight on the spring to go up into it, so it creates a lot of jams. And like I'm not gonna
those like plastic extendo clips that the brothers use. On
yeah,
the
exactly.
But
they
jam the fuck up.
They will fucking turn a full auto gun into a semi-auto, and like not even like a semi-auto gun into a fucking bolt action because they're so shitty at loading. So you're telling me that this dude was able to lay down 12 relentless minutes of constant gunfire from multiple positions with guns that have bump stocks. And the thing about bump stocks too is it ramps your rate of fire up. It's because it's all you're doing is putting this is your gun. Your gun has a stock. The stock is fixed. The bolt carrier goes back into the stock, and then that's where the tension on the spring that sends the bolt forward to reload the gun goes. What you're doing is you're removing the stock and making it so all that tension on the bolt carrier is now distributed into the body of the gun. So it automatically reloads and recocks, but you can just hold the trigger so the whole gun moves with the stock. That's why it's a bump stock. It bump fires. A bump fire is a malfunction where it kicks back, but it kicks back too far, and the bolt carrier ends up slam firing the next round without you pulling the trigger. So it'll just go full auto for a second. And does that make sense?
Like
to you?
auto by proxy.
Oh yeah, auto by accident more than anything. So what you're doing is trying to control that inertia with a stock, and but what it does,
like the perfect point to where it's like timing it right.
Yeah, you can get that thing, but because of that, because it's an imperfect process, it ramps your rate of fire up, so it accelerates and decelerates. So you'll have faster rounds that are more succinct, rounds that are more spread out. So you don't really get that with a belt-fed gun like an MG246, I think. That's the saw. I'm just going to call it the saw. But yeah, it because it's a belt-fed gun, it is privy to jams. Don't get me wrong, but like it's more consistent rates of fire. So they did acoustics testing. Like they took the audio and set the rate of fire of what a bump stock AR shooting 223 is, and it like goes like it goes up and accelerates. The MG is consistent. Yes,
and that's what it sounded like.
That
even
is
on
exactly
the news clips.
That is exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And but what's weird is all the guns he had the same ammo that the saw uses. So it's like, if it's spitting out the same kinds of rounds, then the plausible deniability is like, oh well, these shells came from those guns, and these mags were loaded.
And it's just dumb because why wouldn't they just leave him with some M246s just to cover their bases?
Well, I think because it'd be harder to have access to those weapons. Like those are, for the most part, you need class 3, which is like a huge, like $10,000+ permutation, and the government vets you very thoroughly. And if he's a gun runner, the CIA doesn't want to give approval to class 3 status for this dude, because then all of a sudden he's a high profile guy, and he might be being used for like certain subtler things. And also, like you saw The Departed, nobody ever knows who's working for anybody anymore, really.
The Departed was a mindfuck at the end.
Yeah, it's like more of an homage to the Whitey Bulger story, but it is pretty fucking like interesting with the interplay of like who's working for who, and then everybody just dies, and that's kind of how it happens.
Yeah, I felt like I'd seen the Mark Wahlberg scene at the end on like YouTube, but like I forgot about it, and I watched that movie and I did not see that coming. Like I thought they were gonna talk it out or something. It was just like,
nah,
he had gloves and like shit on his shoes and just silencer and everything.
Suppressor.
Done. Yeah. Fucking Joey the gun nerd.
Fucking gun nerd.
I can't wait for you to ruin the Many Saints in Newark for me tonight.
No. I'm actually really looking forward to this one.
It's got a lot of bad reviews
that's
online,
what I heard, yeah.
And I feel like you're just gonna shit on it.
Nah.
Even though Burnsy liked it. Shout out to Burnsy.
Oh yeah, we got to give a shout out to Alex too. Alex is that one that he's been commenting on our videos. I talked to him over
Morrison,
yeah.
The dude from Scotland.
Yeah, the groundskeeper Willie.
Alex is the homie. He always posts funny ass photoshops. And
he does. He's a good.
He's one of the OGs.
Shout out to fucking.
Shout out to the Secret Stanhope.
Shout out to the SS, the OG SS.
This is the glory days. Remember just fucking. I don't know.
Facebook changed. Well, Facebook's like apparently in hot water right now. Did you see it got shut down all day yesterday? And like Instagram?
I thought it was just like my Sprint cell phone service. I was kind of like, I kept refreshing it and like going on and off the Wi-Fi. I'm like, well, I want my Instagram load. I want to see my 384 followers on BLACKTOOth.
I need to masturbate to my subs.
Pretty much. We're up to, I think it was 22 yesterday. 22 subs on YouTube.
Hell yeah, shout out
to all the subs. And 424 followers on the Instagram.
Did you say 300 or 400?
400.
No shit, we got like 100 yesterday. That's insane, man. Thank you guys. Thank you. Really appreciate the support.
It's not even support. It's probably just from me spam following thousands of people, and then 10% of them follow back out of pity. There's some German dude that keeps DMing me every day. Yeah. Just sending me like weird stuff.
Guten Tag, Jacob.
Like sends hearts and stuff. And
Would you like me to plug your podcast? I'd review Bavarian cream puffs on my podcast. Roland Ernst.
He just sends like a bunch of horse videos and stuff. He must have
sucking off horses. Oh, dude, one of my favorite
horse lovers. He must have heard the fucking thought about that. He must have listened to the pod.
Yeah, he must have actually listened. Shout out to what's his name, Ernst.
Roland Ernst.
Roland Ernst. Shout out.
I said, thank you for the support, Roland. Please subscribe to our YouTube and send him the link. And he said, Mach Weiter Brauschen we're not. I gotta punch that into translate right now.
It probably means
and
yeah,
that's our fucking comeback in.
We're gonna come on my back or something.
So how are we? Wrapping up the Paddock segment.
Oh, just yeah. So did you know that he shot at an airplane too? That was what I think it was. Like he was afraid that. So, do you know what Janet is by any chance? Janet,
A woman's name?
well, just another non-existent terminal. Do you know that?
No,
is?
I've never heard that.
Okay, there's a hangar on the Las Vegas tarmac that's specifically for transport to and from Area 51 because you can't like live there. It's very formidable conditions and it's also out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So they have this thing called Janet, the Janet terminal, and it's a airplane that flies directly to airplane that flies directly to and from Area 51 every day. So when Paddock was shooting up the fucking concert, if that was his primary target was just slaughter people, he starts shooting at a fucking gas tank that's like 60 something degree, like it was still in his field of view from his room, but he like had to walk to a like another window like 10 feet away, change the direction of his fire towards the airport that's like 1,100 yards away, and he starts shooting at a gas tank. But what they're saying is that it was kind of close to the Janet terminal where they do like a lot of these clandestine flights. They're thinking that when the deal went sour, whoever was shooting, be it Paddock or whoever is involved in this deal, might have been shooting at what he thought was the Saudi Arabian guy's fucking airline. Sure enough, too, if you go to the flight logs on what is it? Fucking the Wayback Machine. They have they publish all of the flight logs, like what all the incoming and outgoing flights are that are on a tarmac or in the air at any given time in North America. It's just some FOIA thing. So apparently there was a fucking airplane that he was shooting at on the tarmac in that exact location. Like, and it, like ballistically, it made sense that his direction of fire would change.
But the Saudi guy was not there.
He was not on it, no. And there was also a bunch of people photographing CIA vans, like white vans with government plates that pulled up to the airplane, were taking fucking photos and shit. Then the airplane left.
I wonder if he was just trying to like, if they had secret documents or whatever in that building, and he was trying to shoot the gas tank to destroy all that. You know how like the 9/11 thing where it's like they blew up the Pentagon where all the documents were on the Federal Reserve or whatever the fucking...
Well, that's another weird thing. Not that I want to disrespect 9/11, but you ever hear about the insurance claim that was taken out on the World Trade Centers like a month before?
And there's like a Snopes thing under it, like, this isn't true.
It's absolutely fucking true.
Yeah.
And not only that, the dude that took out the insurance claim argued in court. He went to federal court and said that because it was 2 towers and both towers were hit, the insurance was only for one, but both were insured, so he deserved double the payout, which he got. It was
nice.
Like, I think it was like
I
think it was like a total of like $7 billion payout on it. It's like that's like one of those things.
How do they like get away with shit like that, dude?
Just people don't look like
people don't care.
Yeah, people don't care like that because
the fluoride's clearly working. Like,
look while this is playing. Wait till it goes back to the guy. Wait till it goes back to the guy. Look at Harambe.
that's the one right there. This week on Blacktooth Chinese segment.
Right, so we got
had some great General Tso's.
Do you want to do an Asian conspiracy theory?
We can just do...
He dropping the mic.
We can... Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, we can just do Asian news. Anything Asian.
I'll do... Okay, so fucking...
Asian conspiracy school, though. I've never heard. I thought they were just a clean people.
The Malaysian Airlines. Oh, wait. So here's one. Do you know that Korea's... the reason that the Kim Jong...
Wait, we never wrapped up the Paddock thing. What's the conclusion? What's your final thoughts on that?
My final thoughts on the Paddock thing is just that he was used to buy guns that were supposed to be used in an assassination attempt, but there was a fumble on the assassination attempt at some point where the chain of command didn't coherently express that there was supposed to, like, this dude was supposed to be at this location, or those guns were supposed to be at that location, or there was some kind of muck up like that. And then someone was on to that this assassination attempt was going down, and they went in, cleaned the room basically, but because there's a shitload of gunfire going off, they needed to create a diversion. Nearest thing's a country music festival going on. Shoot the windows out, shoot at the people. Make it look like that.
So there was already gunshots going off before they shot at the people.
I think there was a lady that had said there was people that ran into Mandalay Bay that were armed or something, and then came out and was freaking out. Like, she's like, "You're all gonna die!" And there's like video. There's a video.
Yeah,
of
I
it
saw that. So this, you think? One sec. You think? So you think they shot the people in the concert to
be a diversion, like, because that would be
they already started shooting at the other guy, or it was like
yeah, like that was like either during or like they might have shot
they realized
him.
They fucked up and they were like, let's just kill a bunch of people over here just to like distract everyone.
Yeah, create a distraction, because if the CIA gets caught doing that, and like on top of that surveilling their own people, which is illegal,
so they just like whack 50 innocent people just to like cover their own ass.
And also there's allegations, but I haven't seen any substantial evidence of this, that people were in the concert with guns shooting at the people, which I don't believe. There's also allegations there was a Little Bird helicopter doing buzzes over the concert.
I don't like a news fucking chopper.
That's like, they're right near an airport too. Like, it's not like that far fetched to think that like a helicopter probably had to divert course because of like a fucking gunfire, you know, like
schmocklet
fudging. I don't know. All right, so back on topic. Let's get off.
What are your final thoughts on the paddock situation?
No. No, let's go with I don't know about
the Malaysia flight. You were
No, that was just.
You think they covered up a terrorist attack?
I think they just covered up a terrorist attack. Yeah. The Wuhan thing too. Have you heard anything about the government trying to get? Do you know what backscatter machines are by any chance?
Sounds vulgar.
Backsplatter machine. Fucking get
it's me in the bathroom before the podcast.
You were taking quite the struggle shit back there.
I didn't even shit. It was just a bunch of wet farts. I wiped and there was poop on the wipe, but there's no poop in the bowl. There's a bunch of fudgy farts. Had a slimy butt crack.
Dude.
A Ming and asshole like Ryan Dunn on that one segment.
Fucking Ming hacks. Nerd fucking.
Yeah, that Bam impression was fire.
Dude,
that was on point.
My fucking favorite segment. I know we're just going to be talking about how much we like other podcasts, but my favorite Cumtown segment is when they do Bam fucking with Phil, and it's like, yo, this is called Gay Jackass. We're going to sunk on Phil's dick. And it's like, oh, come on, Bam. It's like, oh, come on, Bam. I got to go to work in the morning. No, you could try to sunk on my dick. It's so dumb.
The best fucking podcast.
So fucking good.
Oh.
And then they had him on. Like, we got to get Bam on our podcast.
They had Bam on.
Yeah, they had Bam on their podcast. They were like doing his accent back at him and shit. Like,
was this like pre or post mental breakdown Bam? Was this a recent
this was like, I mean, it was like on Cumtown, so it was like only like I think like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah,
I was saying like in light of recent events.
No, not that. Like,
apparently Jackass like as a whole had to put a restraining order on Bam.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
All I saw was the TMZ article online, but I didn't click it.
Yeah, Paramount Pictures had to get a restraining order on him, but then Jeff Tremaine, Johnny Knoxville, and a bunch of the other dudes had to get restraining orders on him too, because he was like not sober on set.
Stop trying to sunk on my dick, Bam.
Oh, come on. You're trying to sunk on my dick, Bam. I like do that when I'm walking around in the woods. There's like two things I fucking do usually. It's like just
I'm counting my steps like an OCD freak. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
No, like
1, 2, 3,
I'm just like I'm just sat there going like, oh, sunk on my dick, Bam. Like, come on, fucking either that or Stewie
or Tony.
No, Tony, this dog kind of looks like a hooker. Like Stewie. Like I'm just like. Once in a while, I see people back there. Like, my neighbor comes back there to walk her dogs. Do it. Yeah, there you go. I saw it coming.
You see your neighbor walking her dogs, and you're like, Tony, that dog looks like,
I see her walking her dogs out there, and I'm just like, I hope she doesn't hear me having, like, mental illness. No, it's like, it's sometimes
you're
not
saying
even...
this stuff out loud.
Yeah, of course. I'm just
counting. I count a lot. It's weird. I think it's like an OCD or autism sign. I just find myself counting like a lot.
Well, I was mid panic attack last night at the poker table. I was counting all the fucking cards being dealt, like at the same, like because it's like I would be like just like my fucking jaw, dude. I think like
it's some kind of weird coping mechanism.
I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, that's what I do.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm like just like, holy, what is wrong with me?
I do that a lot.
Not even looking at the fucking cards. I'm like raising people. It was like it was a fucking nightmare. That's why I like text you. I was like, yo, I'm like doing real shitty. Like I'm too high to be playing right now. I gotta take a piss. Let's pause. Great. You just look like a fucking polar bear. You're like literally the Coca-Cola bear right now. What are you doing?
There we go. We live. It's just me.
Just futzing with the microphone for 40 seconds.
I didn't know you turned it back on.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's a great segment.
This is the
That's a good clip
Jake
right there.
being lazy podcast.
No, I was uncomfortable sitting on the couch.
Uncomfortable.
Turned sideways, no back support. My neck.
Now, so
hurt.
you wanted to lay down.
At least I'm facing you now. Like
That's true. Fair
I
enough.
can't just like stare at the fucking wall the whole time.
We
Unless
can
you like
watch-
move this way and we're
I
facing
would move
me.
this way, but there's a pile of laundry on the other part of the couch.
That has nothing to do with it.
I would sit over there.
I meant if you put your chair
Oh.
to where we're facing each other, but it doesn't matter.
Fuck it.
I'm comfy. This is nice, honestly.
This is high society.
Just like Billy Burr, just laying down on a couch doing a pod.
Dude, we should do.
He always talks about he's just like in his pajamas laying in bed, just fucking.
I thought it would be fun to do one if we watch like the Flyers or something like that. Like,
Yeah, man.
like put the cause you know how he does the segments where he like watches
Has the game on in the
yeah,
background
the last
and
like
shit.
5 minutes of a football game or something. He's just like,
It's not even a segment. He's just talking about something completely unrelated. He's like, "Oh, fucking Brady."
I don't know why your impression right there got me. Like, Brady,
Lady.
you give it to the black guy, you give it to the white guy. It's like the one where he's like he's commentating on the fucking Rough and Rowdy, but then he's like him commentating on the Rough and Rowdy. It was like, yeah, there was this guy whose whole hype thing was I'm the milkman, like the milkman delivers, and like it's just like hearing Bill Burr's fucking like
This guy looked like a fucking bag of milk.
he just fucking shows up with no muscles, but he still delivered. He came through and got the knockout.
He could throw a fucking punch, and he had a
Yeah,
fucking
right.
iron jaw, kid.
Put him right there, Fred.
Oh, no, the fucking right there, Fred.
Yeah, him breaking down UFC was fucking hilarious too.
Gave him the old right there,
He
Fred.
fucking talks about Conor McGregor. He's got the shiny shoes and the belt to match him.
The Irishman.
Irishman. Yeah, that's a like I was thinking about rewatching like a little bit of The Sopranos, but I kind of want to go into this like with my mind open because like I know it's different.
I went in with the lofty goal 3 weeks ago. It's like, I'm going to watch all 82 episodes in the next 3 weeks before I watch the movie.
How many episodes in did you make it before you were touching your dick? Like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
The episode where Meadows friends
Ever since I
fucking
can
the soccer
remember, I
coach.
wanted to be a gangster.
Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be Lil Uzi Vert. Oh no, it was a little boozy. Fuck, I'm fucking up other people's fucking bits on other podcasts. I'm fucking. This guy stinks.
I don't know. I want to say something about the movie, but I don't want to say anything.
Just say it. Fuck you.
No, it's not like.
Come on, say it.
Tell me what you think of Silvio's character in the movie. It's been like the most ridiculed in the reviews and stuff.
Really? Is it some like they just got some heavy that's like not him at all?
It's not that it doesn't look like him. It's just like, I don't know. They just look how they massacred my boy. Like he just like, I know Sil in the series was like cartoonish with his mannerisms, but he like the actor like over fucking did it, which he might have been directed to do. It might not have even been the actor's fault.
Did
but
David Chase direct this?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Paulie one was all right. The Puss one was all like Paulie was like all right at
Wasn't
best.
Paulie supposed to be in the military? Well, like Tony was.
The timeline was kind of
It's kind of
timeline got fucked up.
Kind of skashad.
because like I thought Sil and Puss and Tony were all the same age, but they're already like made, and Tony's still in high school in the movie. Like, it doesn't make sense.
That makes no. And are the young guys like? Are they in their 20s or are they?
Yeah,
like,
they're the young guns.
Oh, okay.
So I guess Paulie was older than Tony, so it kind of makes sense. But I thought Sil and Tony like grew up together. It was weird.
Yeah, because they're like kids are the same age too, and
Yeah.
it's like kind of heavily.
Paulie was
implied.
older,
Yeah, Paulie was definitely because Paulie was like.
but
friends
Paulie
with
was the same age as Puss and Sil in this. Like, they were like their own little trio. Yeah, it's not like I loved the movie, and even I find myself with the Sil stuff. I was like, oof, like Sil's kind of cringy. Paulie was all right. He got a lot of flack in the reviews too, but like I didn't think he was that bad. Just don't go into it thinking it's going to be as good as the series. It's a fun movie. Like, a lot of people went into it thinking this was going to be like Sopranos Part 2, and it's like, it's not. You can't do that in 2 hours.
No.
Like, you just can't. It was a fun movie. That's
No,
all it is. That's all it's going to be.
I have one question because it's the only thing that will break my opinion of this movie. Is Melfi at all in this movie?
No.
Like, there's no character. No. Oh, I was gonna say
there's one scene where Tony's in high school and he's talking to his guidance counselor,
and her name is Melfi.
No.
Oh fuck.
You can just tell the cadence of it. It was like paying homage to the Melfi thing, but it was like a 2-minute scene.
So I couldn't fast forward. I don't have to go up to the projection room.
Turn this off! No, that was my friend Pat's complaint.
Forward.
That's the number one complaint with a lot of Sopranos people. It's like, it's too much talking, not enough killing. Like, let's go.
No.
So my friend Pat literally said that about the movie. He's like, there was too many boring talking parts. Like, you know how many murders there are in the movie, dude? Like, they got to, like, build up to it. Like, you can't just be all fucking...
Yeah, like, The Godfather works as it does because it's like there's
ebbs and flows. It's like a stand-up hour. It's not all bang, bang, bang. It's like...
Can't be everything. It can't all just be Joey.
I was gonna say there are comics like Joey Diaz.
Joey
Just
Diaz.
fucking...
Dude, I that's the hardest. I think I had a fucking seizure at that one. Fucking
God, dude, yeah.
Dude, like
he fucking brings it live, dude. Like
the first 5 minutes of that one, I forget if that was the one I went to with just you and fucking Stu or just me.
You sat separate or something.
But yeah, there was like that was the one where it was me, you, and Stu, and then Stu brought his chick.
Yeah,
and like
we all sat separate. I sat by myself.
I went there the day of and was like not expecting to be able to get a ticket. I walk up to the box office.
Like, come on.
And they're like, do you have any tickets for the comedy show? And they're like, oh no, that's sold out. And I was like, you don't have a single Joey Diaz ticket? They're like, oh no, we're talking about the Jerry Seinfeld one.
We got plenty of Joey Diaz.
Yeah, we got like so many Joey Diaz. And then I bought the bought the best, like the highest price you could pay for a ticket was like $39.
Bro, I paid like $80 for a worse seat than you on StubHub.
And I got fucking 5th row center.
Yeah.
And then the first fucking 10 minutes is Joey talking about his gay neighbor, and I fucking almost vomited in the first fucking 10 minutes. Like, it's just like my face hurt for the rest of the show. And he like lets off the gas a little bit, but like he always goes into these like fucking
story about like Mr. Martini.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey, Mr. Martini, suck my weenie. They'd shake their dick out and run away or something like that.
The pedophile and the no wait, what's the old Jewish Goomba guy?
Throw a bunch of change on the ground and run away. Uncle Joey rules. It's so dope knowing that he's like a fucking hour or less from us right now.
Dude, it's
he's
great.
Gonna be doing, once things normalize a bit, he's going to be doing regular sets in AC and stuff. He talked about wanting to do regular stuff at Borgata.
Dude,
maybe once a month or twice a month at Borgata. I'm going every fucking time.
I will do both
I'll watch
shows.
Joey work out. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, Jack.
I don't give a fuck, cocksucker.
You think you're dealing with Joey Bananas?
Oh, what the hell do we have over here? All-Pro Passer. So you can use that.
Like
you know that
grenade
you
launcher.
know the first fucking
It's going
thing.
up some kid's butt.
Exactly. Dude, Joey, squat over that. Joey,
God.
squat over that.
Put your nutsack over
Dude,
that. I'll give you $1.
I'm not even kidding. That's like that ball is tiny. That's $50 for like.
Sunk my dick over the fucking football machine, dude.
Oh, come on, Bam. I gotta go to work in the morning.
Stop trying to sunk my football machine.
I'm trying to sunk my football machine, Bam.
You sunk my battle dick.
My fucking cheat day is go to McDonald's and make a McGangbang. I make sure to get one of those in me, and then go in and just have liquid diarrhea.
Do you really make McGangbangs?
I love McGangbangs. That's like my order is very simple. McGangbang. So a McDouble, a McChicken, 10-piece nuggets, small fry, no drink, and then I go home and put it on a plate.
Oh, it's cold by the time you get home.
No, it's
terrible.
not. It's warm. It's fine. It's good.
The fries are not as good by the time you get home.
Not even close to true, dude. I know
100% true.
Not even close to true. I know how to fucking do it. I get home. I don't fucking lollygag. I don't fucking check the bag. You leave the bag vented, but in a way.
I don't want to hear this. Go fuck yourself, Joe Rogan.
No. I am not the person.
Consensus poll going up on the Instagram once the episode goes live.
That's
do
totally
you
fine.
eat your fast food in the parking lot like a savage, or do you go home and put it on a plate? Or, when the option's available, do you go in the fine dining establishment and eat in the restaurant?
That's preferable if I can. Okay, so are we in agreement that like if you can, you go in and sit down at Mickey D's, especially back in the day when they used to have. Remember when they used to have the Xbox?
Yeah, and you got free refills.
Dude, free refills. You could fucking chill there for like a good 2 hours before they kick you out. Like, I mean,
the playground thing when you're like 13. Just fucking.
Dude. Used to sleep.
Get my dink sunk in the fucking in the big dinosaur, Bam.
I got no fucking.
Stop sunking my dick in the ball pit, Bam.
Bam, get out of the ball pit. I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying to sunk my dick in the ball pit. We're just stealing someone else's bit.
I don't give a fuck.
It's so good though. No, so you know, like the play place at our McDonald's, and then they had the play place at the one in the Ocean City one for a really long time. It was like
the kids would like ride down on the fucking slide on trays.
Yeah, dude. So this kid, I already said his name. I don't have to bleep it, but this kid I went to high school with, no, not him. But
that kid was such a fucking tool.
He's actually
he was probably chill.
The reason he's a tool
Tarzan ass
is because he's a
motherfucker.
fucking moron. But like, I love him. He's like,
you know how much kills that kid got on the boardwalk?
Yeah, he got a ton. He got a ton of
jealous.
fucking. No, he works at a movie theater now and just goes surfing all day. But he's like a weirdo. Like I've known him since we were little, and he's always been a weirdo. Then he just
was he always like a man dime fucking?
No, he was like a
destroyer?
Fucking weird fucking like. I mean, nah, he was like a weird kid in middle school.
It.
Yeah, grew into it exactly.
Personality does not match the fucking.
Exactly. So he's like 8th grade, me and him were tight. 9th grade, he was like asking me about lacrosse, and he was like, I'm already on the team. And I'm like, you're a fucking twat.
That's literally how he sounds.
Yeah, but like, so he got like really weird in high school with his drinking, and he used to, the go-to thing would be to break into a place you have no business breaking into, and then falling asleep there for no reason whatsoever, and getting caught every fucking time. So both the
crime of the century.
Both the McDonald's in Seville, the McDonald's in Ocean City, both of those, he broke into the play place after they were closed. I think the Ocean City one was still 24 hours at that point. He just broke into the play place after hours
and
and fucking like crawled up in and fell asleep there. Then they found him in the morning, and the cops promptly arrested him. But then he also, we were at a party one time, and I wasn't there like with him.
Officers stopped trying to suck my dick in the fucking.
Oh, come on,
I got work in the morning. Trying to sleep.
But yeah, this other time we were at a party and he was there. I wasn't like with him. I just know that he was there. I saw him at the party. He disappears at one point, and I don't see him till school like the next Monday. And I was like, "What the fuck happened to you?" He's like, "Oh, I got arrested." I was like, "Oh, were you running from the cops or something?" He's like, "No, I broke into some dude's shed and fell asleep there, and then they found me the next day, and I got woken up at gunpoint." Like, why do you do this dumb shit? Like,
my go-to used to just be like knocking on the wrong door by mistake.
Yeah, that was the last pod. That was funny.
But like, I've never been like, let me break into this shit and pass out.
I don't.
That's a funny like drunk tick or whatever you want to, like a, you know what I mean, like a repeat.
Yeah, I won't
that's
say.
That's a weird theme to have.
I had to censor myself on the last one, but there is this kid that I didn't go to college with him, but he's a friend of mine. Let's just say we'll leave it at that. Friend of ours. He would come and visit me at Hofstra, and his thing used to be like, he was a real like tall, handsome dude, but he was very awkward. Kind of the cut from the same cloth, where he's not like a douche, but if you knew him after he'd like grown up, you're like, you have a different perspective of him than I do.
His dick?
I don't want to sunk his dick, but he is cute.
He's tall and handsome. He's got a big piece
everything
on
I don't is everything I want to be, and I want that man in me. But anyway,
if Blue Chew can make a pill
that makes
for you to
gay.
grow, well, you don't need that one. But to grow like 6 inches or whatever. Like, what's your ideal height? What's your height currently?
My height's 5'6" currently.
What do you want to be?
I would just be happy 6 feet, like, you know, maybe 6'1". But like, I'm like happy with being 5'6". It's just nobody's biting at what I'm selling. Like, that's the only qualm I have with my height.
You just gotta find a short chick.
Yeah,
there are chicks like that would match you in a picture.
But I'm like hungry for something taller, and it's like, I know
you can find that.
I know for a fact they're out there. Yeah, like,
we just have like a very
warped perspective.
No, I was just gonna say like a small pond to fish from.
Yeah,
like if you were in like on Tinder in Philly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you were in like had a larger
one of the things that
ocean to fish from, I feel like you'd have better results versus Cape May County in the wintertime. You're kind of fucking doomed. One of
the best successful things I ever had going on was when I was at fucking Harrah's a few years ago. I just Tindered from there, and it's like
the pool on like Thursday night. Dude, all the fucking New York scumbags that come down.
Harrah's when it's hopping, and mixture between Ventnor and Brigantine. It's like you actually get a good pool of like people.
And you got vacation chicks who just want to come down and like get their back blown out and then go back home to their fucking man.
Exactly. Like there's just like, it's a good mix. It's like a nice mix of like people like where you can mingle, but like we're just kind of like dead zoned here. Like all I get is like I got matched with the same fucking waterbed of a chick that I fucking went out on a date with this winter or this summer. Did I tell you about that? Like she got me uncomfortably high in her trailer.
Didn't she like blow you and then left crying or something?
No,
was that a different
that was
chick?
a different chick. That was a chick I worked with.
Just like come up to my hotel room, just fucking jerked off in front of you and then left.
I mean, I have been technically by definition sexually assaulted by a certain ex of mine. I was asleep in my bed and I woke up to my hand being used like a sex toy while I was passed out, and she was like, "Just go with it. I'm almost there." And I'm like, "Okay." And then just went back to sleep. And then
I feel like in a relationship, that's not sexual
it
assault.
wasn't really a good relationship. Like we were like maybe 3 weeks into dating when this happened.
That's fine.
Nah.
You're like bothered by that?
I wasn't bothered by it. I just was like,
Go with it. I'm almost there. I'm pulling my piece out and I'm joining the fucking party.
Well, normally I would be, but I had worked in 72
Stop
hours.
sunken on my hand, babe. I got
Babe,
work in the morning.
Babe, quit wetting on my hand. I gotta go to work in the morning. Come on, get that out of your face. Come here.
Stop sunken my damn hand into your fucking poster.
It was when we were opening Oak and Dagger, and I worked 24 hours in 72 hours. So like I literally was exhausted. I was working like, I worked more than that. I worked like 40 something hours in 72 hours. I worked a 20-hour day one day. The last day I worked, so like I literally showed up and worked 20 hours straight, and then immediately went home where my girlfriend and I were supposed to have a date. Yeah. We were supposed to have a date, and she came over and just fell asleep in my bed.
I can see her doing that, too.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a date, and then I was like, all right, fuck. So I got tomorrow off. Like, I'm just going to sleep, like, in a... Fuck.
Leave that in, but just bleep her name. That's funny. Because I was trying to be slick and like throwing sign language.
But yeah, so she like came over and fell asleep, and then I woke up the next morning to football on the television, my hand being wet and used like a sex toy, and I'm like, fuck, like what are you doing? She's like, I'm almost there, just go with it. I was like, fine, fuck, and like just went back to sleep. But like I was like so exhausted I couldn't even get a hard on. Like I tried to fuck her the night before, and I was like,
it's not working.
It's just not for like I'm
Shout
too
out to Blue Chew. That's
I didn't
perfect
have
segue into the sponsor.
Yeah, right. We have a sponsor now, Blue Chew.
Manifest it, baby. Fake it till you make it. Let's just do fake ad reads for Blue Chew. Like, get your penis hard.
Our sponsor is Wawa.
No, our sponsor is Blue Chew.
DoorDash.
Go to bluechew.com/blacktooth for your free monthly order.
So for DoorDash, if you want, this podcast is sponsored by DoorDash. If you want to see Jake and other members of the podcast, you can just go on DoorDash and order a hoagie or 16 cookies from McDonald's.
That's a funny fucking order last night. Dude, a lot of them are like $6 or $7, and I get this one, and I'm sitting at my girl's house, but I'm still in the red zone, so like I'm still on the clock. But I hadn't gotten an order in like an hour or two. Like I was basically just chilling. Like if one comes in, maybe I'll do it if it's worth it. Like I said, a lot of them are $6 or $7, and this one comes in. It's in Upper. Like I don't even have to leave Upper, and it's $10.50 or something. I didn't even look at what it was. It's just McDonald's. I got in the car. I started heading there, and then I get there. I click like arrived at store or whatever you're supposed to click on the app, and then the thing comes up. I click. It said order 15 items. I'm like, what the fuck? It was 13 chocolate chip cookies, a large fry, and like a 10-piece nugget or something. And the kid that came out to get it was like this 14-year-old gamer kid that like shuffled out like he was leaving his fucking gamer chair for the first time that day. Like it's weird because a lot of them are like leave at door, but then they don't wait till I leave to come out and get it, and they just like awkwardly shuffle out and pick it up and don't make eye contact. It's the most like millennial fucking service ever. I'm way more likely to like make a purchase and tip. Like how I tip at Wawa on the motorcycle, like if they fucking break my balls and come over and like punch it in for me and shit, I don't tip them. But if they just look over and give me a thumbs up and like don't bother me, I give them like $2. Like here's $2 for not fucking annoying me.
For not having a conversation,
literally
making eye contact with me.
Pretty much.
Especially if it's old fucking Naruto.
He's cool.
He's not cool.
Oh, I thought you meant the old guy that works
No.
Trash can.
No, not Trash Can. That guy's all right.
He's Naruto.
Fucking...
That's Trash Can.
That's Trash Can?
Yeah.
No, he's a fucking...
His nickname in high school was Trash Can.
His nickname in high school
on
was
my bus.
Not... Oh, okay. I didn't...
Trash Can.
I didn't ride
Everyone
your
called him Trash Can.
What? Because he's fucking shaped
fat
like a
retard.
Yeah.
He ate everything.
Yeah, it's like...
Him and would play strip rock paper scissors every day on the back of the bus.
Why?
And they would always get Trash Can to take like his shirt and his pants off and just be like a fat idiot. And his tidy whities in the back of the bus.
That man
It was like
pumps
every
gas at
day he would
Wawa.
always lose. It was just this fat idiot. I felt bad for him. And then like he was doing like Naruto
Yeah, he does the
with a
Naruto
mop
run.
handle on the fucking boardwalk. He was like swinging it around like a bow staff. And
He literally is the fucking Star Wars. The
he's a
lightsaber
nice
kid.
guy though. He's weird, but like
so like this is another example of like I knew him when I was younger. He was
didn't.
he was in my Boy Scout troop, and he used to do this thing with this other kid. Like just imagine trash can, but then imagine a smaller version of trash can. His name was
bin.
yeah, recycle bin, okay, waste bin,
Waste basket.
Yeah, waste basket. Fucking. So there's this other kid that they would be in the hallway and they would just look at each other and then pause and then go Matrix version and then assume a pose like a karate pose. But they used to make us
These
sit
guys
in the
must have got
hallway.
laid early.
They would sit in the hallway, so if they would get up to do one, they'd get yelled at, drawing significantly more attention to them, which is what they wanted. But like we were all like over it already, so it's just like, oh god, they're doing this
Matrix
shit again.
tards
So they would just go
again.
Matrix version and then like stand up, and then the teacher would come over and yell at him. I had Mr. too. I had the black teacher.
I never heard of him.
Yeah, he was like only there for 1 year. I did the most autistic thing and fucking I was no.
It really doesn't miss.
Doesn't get old.
It doesn't.
Holy shit! I'm gonna have so much work on this one because I just did last names too.
Not too bad.
Not terrible, but we can end on this because but you know how like when you're younger, it's kind of like cute like to make like a card for your teacher. So like
Yeah.
I was in like first, second, third, fourth grade. All of those were ladies. I had all
Lady!
I all had lady teachers. So,
Nice mic movement.
So
That was nice.
Stinks.
Like fucking monkeys.
So I was.
You made him a card?
I was in 5th grade and I made him a card with crayons and said, and I drew a globe that I colored in with crayons, and then a bunch of people of different ethnicities outside of the globe holding hands.
Oh.
And then wrote, "You're the best.
Yuck.
Best teacher in the world. Love, Joe."
Oh.
It went directly in the trash can. Directly in the trash can. If
You
not,
fucking. I'm physically uncomfortable
I
right
get
now.
such
You
bad douche chills from that.
Literally, that's
I
the perfect
still get
description.
douche chills from that.
The poster with like all the white and
Yes.
black kids.
It was exactly that.
But like stick figure Joey crayon form.
crayons,
Like,
and it was like
you're
on
the
like
best teacher in
on-
the world.
It was on the back of a math test that I got like 9 out of like 12 answers wrong on too. So it's like clearly his academics had failed me. Like it was just like a fucking my 5th grade experience was surreal because that was when we had that fucking hippie bitch art teacher too.
She was my downstairs neighbor. She was our teacher in the middle school though, I thought.
No, I'm thinking what's the one that that one? No, middle school has whatever.
She was at the elementary school. She wasn't a hippie though.
No, that was it was
She
that
was the blonde old lady. Yeah.
She did a really mean thing to me when I was younger. She had
Same.
this.
She was a bitch.
Yeah, she had this thing where there was only 8 kids in our art class, so there was 4 girls and 4 boys, and we had to make these like masks, like for Mardi Gras or some shit. And I thought she thought it would be fun if we all played The Bachelor, and all the girls had to pick which guy they would want to be with.
She
based
did
on their
weird
masks.
shit like that too.
And I shit you not, everybody went and stood next to this other kid, and then me and one other kid had nobody stand next to us.
You
It was just the most
sunked each other's dicks in the art class.
Oh, come on, I gotta finish my art project. Sunk on my dick. Oh, come on, just quit sunking on my
I
dick.
made her cry at the 8th grade like final assembly thing or whatever, like not pep rally, but it was some like award ceremony thing, and she got award for teacher of the year, and I started booing, and then my whole dude, I like everyone's always like I started the standing ovation, but like I started the booing. Like it's a teacher award thing. No students are like everyone's just clapping, and I hated her. She got me in trouble, got me like suspended and shit. She was a bitch. So I start booing, and like the whole side of that gymnasium starts like loudly booing, and she started crying on the stage and like ran off, like exit stage right. And it was like so bad that like the girls in my class were mad at me.
That's
They're like, you're so mean. You know, you get like that reaction from chicks that like,
oh man, I had this kid.
like fuck you. Like,
I had make a teacher cry. He made Mrs.
She was the best.
No,
man.
she was so mean to our class, but like
I did really good in history, and like I was just a little fat meatball kid, and like I don't know, she liked me.
What, so
she liked
you guys were the same shape.
Yeah, she liked me and McNesby, and we were both like goofy fucking idiots, but we both did good in class. Cause I don't know. I don't know. She had like a soft spot for me or something. She used to talk to my mom all the time. I liked her a lot.
I mean, she was nice to me, but it was very funny, like when the kids all made like, cause she turned
get her fucking riled up.
Yeah, exactly. You get her talking about
kitten Oreos,
dude. She would talk about that cat nonstop, and like, she would go Oreos. So, dude,
she's like the female Danny DeVito.
She is the female Danny DeVito. She's
Wonder what she looks like now.
Probably fucking
horrible.
In a fucking wheelchair.
I lost her fucking foot.
Lost her, ate her cat.
I thought it was an Oreo.
But no, so there's this
getting sunk that in milk.
yeah, I sunk that. Quit trying to sunk my cat, man. Dude, our podcast functions so much better when we just do other people's material. This is the last hour has been a breeze because we're just sunken on each other's things.
I've never heard the term sunk, so I can't stop saying it. Like it's like when you first hear sandwich and then you're saying sandwich for 2 weeks. Like, I'm trying to sunk on my fucking.
Whenever you see black dudes say drinks and they say drink, J-R-I-N-K-S or J-R-A-N-K-S. Dranks. Yeah. But, dude, so no. Was in class one day and he made, we were talking about in the yearbook how teachers get nominated for Teacher of the Year, and Miss like something to the effect of like, it would be incredible if someone from this class nominated me for Teacher of the Year. Is just kind of from back of the class scoffs and goes, yeah, I nominated you for Teacher of the Year. I meant Miss Cooper, and like, it was like the whole class had like an yeah, the whole class was like,
it's just chaos for like 10 seconds after,
like
and then she's got to try and fucking bring it back together.
No, she was shell shocked that like somebody would like say that they did that, because she was like about getting ready to do that thing where they like fold their hands and put it over their heart, like, oh, how sweet. Like she was like that close to doing that, and then
it's
Mendez
such
is
a
just
childish insult.
and then a childish,
I voted for you,
and even
psych,
and an even childisher reaction by all of us going, to the softest burn ever, like literally like a fucking lighter,
and that shit catches fire though,
and dude, and she ran out of the room crying. All right, let's on that. What do you got to plug? DoorDash?
No, shout out to our YouTube and our Instagram.
Yeah,
give us a follow, give us a sub.
22 subscribers. Really? Thank you guys so much, and fucking hit us up on Patreon.
We're gonna start
Instagram.
a Patreon eventually once we get 10,000 followers on Instagram or 1,000 subs on YouTube. But yeah, our goal is 200 subs, so we're about 10% of the way there.
Start eating, babe.
If you're fucking bunch of hoagies.
It's the wrong button, but whatever.
But yeah, if you haven't followed and you like the stuff, give us a follow, give us a subscription. We really appreciate it.
All right, go fuck yourself.
Leave it on for.
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 Go fuck yourself.